Welcome to Build the Weight Loss Practice of Your Dreams. If you have questions about how to build your weight loss business, Carol Clark has answers. Join her each week as she and her expert guests share actionable steps to better outcomes for your clients and more revenue and referrals for you. It's time to experience your ultimate success and enjoy what you do each and every day.
Hi, this is Carol Clark, your bariatric business coach, and recently I was presenting at a conference and I had a physician come up to me afterwards and ask me about whether or not adding video as a marketing strategy was easy to do and whether or not I felt it was necessary or helpful. And in response, I really had to share that I think video is a great way for physicians to market themselves and also to attract new clients. And it's also a great way to educate your patients. And the reasons why I'm saying that is because video has never been as easy as it is today to do. You can basically do a video just with your iPhone, no matter where you are. And the joy of it is that patients and people like for people who are on video to not be necessarily perfect. They accept imperfections because they know that you're human, and it also adds that human element. There are a couple of keys to making this the most effective, and I'm going to share those with you today, along with some ways to take this and put your videos out there in a bigger way to attract more patients and also to be able to educate your patients in the best way possible. A couple things to consider is that when you're on video, you want to make sure that you have proper lighting. And a lot of people, especially physicians or clinicians, will do their videos perhaps in their office with bright lights over top that are fluorescent that either show a glare on their head or their hair or their face or wash them out completely. Lighting is such an easy thing to do. You can use just some of your lamps in your office, play around with it, or there's also very inexpensive ring lights that you can use that you can actually mount your phone or your iPad mini or whatever it is that you're using to do your recording, and it makes it really, really effective. The other thing to look for is to make sure that you're wearing mostly plain clothing, not wild designs or something that's really distracting, that you're also in an atmosphere where it's a professional background, or you may even be doing something outside, and you can be doing that without obviously a set background, but having something that's professional and not distracting in terms of, sometimes I'll see videos and people are doing them in their homes with loads of laundry behind them or ironing board up, or you just never know what you're going to see. So you want to make sure that you do have somewhat of a professional background, and you can use something in your office. You can actually buy backgrounds that you can put, you can do a green screen and create your own background. I've done that a fair amount of times, and that's a lot of fun. So making sure that what you're wearing, your background, your lighting, and most people will watch a video if the video is not as great, but they will not watch a video or listen to it if the audio is terrible. So the great thing is that most phones and iPad minis, they do have a decent microphone on them. You can also add something like a Yeti or a lavalier mic. I've done handheld mics when I'm out in public and I'm doing interviews with physicians or other people. Those are easy to purchase, and a lot of these things are less than $100 or maybe $150 at the most. So it's really easy to design a very inexpensive little studio for you to start doing some videos. I find it easier to try to do some videos, a number of them at a time, because you're kind of in that mode. And then sometimes you'll want to just create a video on the fly. Maybe it's a patient coming in who has a success story to share, and you just want to catch them in that excited moment when they hit that 100-pound mark or that 50-pound mark or whatever it is. So there's lots of different ways to capture that. Like I say, you can do it indoors, you can do it outdoors, you can have stabilizers if you're outdoors or if you're walking around doing a tour, those sorts of things. But video is a very effective way for you to get in front of your ideal clients and also to attract them and to educate them, because you're building a relationship. Every time you put any content out there, you're building a relationship with the people that you want to work with. So those are some really important things to do in terms of getting the video and making that. Shorter is better. People don't want to sit down and listen to an hour-long video. They want to listen to something that's, 5, 10, 15 minutes long, maybe 20. If I'm doing an interview, sometimes it'll last up to 30. But trying to keep that as succinct as possible is important, because people, they don't have the time to sit down. They won't take the time necessarily always to sit down and listen to something. They want to get their information in a fast-paced way, but something that's very meaningful. So try not to let your videos drag on and on. When you're laying out your topics, I usually try to do an editorial calendar, so I lay out what it is that I want to cover, what my call to action is going to be at the end if that's appropriate, in terms of what I want the person to do next, whether it's to connect with me, whether it's to do something in their own personal life, whether it's a product that you're promoting or a service that you're promoting. Some sort of call to action is also very helpful. But videos are great because you can be on the video, and the more you do them, the more comfortable you get. You can be on the video, but then you can also take that and you can split it off and edit it, add bumpers on either side in terms of if you're doing a show. If you've listened ever to my podcast, there's sort of what we call an intro and an outro bumper that's on each side that's been professionally done. You don't even have to have that, though. You can do a Facebook Live for your patients. Very, very simple. But you want to take that. You can take your video, as I was saying, and you can use it as a video on YouTube and on your site, wherever you want to use it. You can then separate out the audio and do it as a podcast. You can also then have someone, I have someone on my staff who then will transcribe all of my videos, and then the transcription turns into a blog. So you've done one piece of content, and you've taken that content and you've put it out there in 3 different ways: video, audio, and as a blog. You don't have to do that, but it's a very effective way to then put that content out there. Use rich keywords for what people are searching for in terms of what it is that you're offering, and you can have it out there in a number of different ways and just schedule it out so it's kind of content that's coming out on a regular basis through your editorial calendar. It can be really, really simple to set up. In terms of editing software, you can just use iMovie for your, if you have your iPad mini or your phone or a Mac. You can use Camtasia, which is pretty easy to use, lots of tutorials out there. Camtasia is another thing you can use on PCs. You can also use other video software editing things that are out there that you can use as well. So you can make it as simple or as hard as you want. You can use it, make it as expensive or as inexpensive as you want. And that's the joy of video today. It's never been as easy to get your message out there in a big way. So I hope you're going to use this. What we do, what I've worked with physicians to do, is to think about what it is that your patients ask the most about. What is it they need to know about your service in order to attract them in and also to educate them? Because an educated patient, as you know, is also one of your best patients. So think about those topics, keep it short, create your videos, put them out there on a succinct and in a very systematic way so that it's consistent. You don't have one video going out in January and your next one doesn't go out till June. So you can set your staff up. I work with physicians on how to set this up, but you can make that happen and get your message out there in a big way. The other thing I've done with physicians is you can create little mini videos, and then you can take that content and transcribe it and turn it into a book. So that's really fun to do. Or you can do it the opposite way. You can write your book, and then you can turn around and do videos that all lead back to purchase of the book or to attracting people into your practice. So these are just some quick ideas. I know it may seem overwhelming a little bit if you're not used to video, but it is a really effective way to draw more patients in. I know some practices, it's literally almost 50% of where they're getting their patients is from all the content that they have out there. So I hope you think about that. If you want a little bit of help, you want to toss some ideas, please feel free to give me a call or email me is probably best, Carol, K-A-R-O-L, at weightlospracticebuilder.com. I'm also always looking to interview people who are out there, physicians, clinicians who are doing some really unique things in their practice or having great outcomes. I'm always looking to have people on the show. So if you are interested in getting that first dip in the water or test of the waters through a podcast with me, just reach out to me. Once again, Carol, K-A-R-O-L, at weightlospracticebuilder.com, and I look forward to connecting. Thanks so much, and there's also lots of tips at weightlospracticebuilder.com. Thanks again. Take care.
That's all for this episode of Build the Weight Loss Practice of Your Dreams. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and visit weightlospracticebuilder.com to stay up to date on more ways to build a successful practice that you love with results, revenue, and referrals. We look forward to having you join us next time.